What's up everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before I get started with today's video, if you have not joined the M&M family, make sure to do so by hitting that red subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 Netflix show recommendations that you should totally go check out this year in 2022. So these are all of my favorite shows. I've watched all of them, some multiple times, and I'm just going to basically be sharing with you those favorites along with a quick little summary about the show. And then in the description down below, I will have linked all of the trailers to these shows. The first show, which is my absolute favorite, is Anne with an E. This reimaging of the classic book and film is a coming-of-age story about a young orphan who is seeking love, acceptance, and her place in the world. Amy Beth McNulty stars as Anne, a 13-year-old who has endured an abusive childhood in orphanages and the homes of strangers. In the late 1890s, Anne is mistakenly sent to live with aging siblings, Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert, who live on Prince Edward Island. Anne, who proves to be uniquely spirited, imaginative, and smart, transforms the lives of Marilla, Matthew, and everyone else in their small town. So there are 3 seasons on Netflix. Season 4 got canceled, and I cried. Because it's like my favorite show ever, and I never want it to end, and it's like so feel good, and like anytime I'm down or depressed or just need to feel like just warmth, you know, I watch that show and it just makes me happy and feel less alone because Anne struggles with mental illness and trauma and all of that stuff, and I can relate. My second favorite show is Downton Abbey. This historical drama follows the lives of the Crawley family and their servants in the family's Edwardian country house. The program begins with the 1912 sinking of the Titanic, which leaves Downton Abbey's future in jeopardy as Lord Grantham's presumptive heir, his cousin James, and his son Patrick die aboard the ship, leaving him without a male offspring to take over the throne upon his death. As a result, Lord Grantham must search for a new heir. As the program progresses through the decade, other historical events happen leading up to Lord Grantham declaring in 1914 that Britain is at war with Germany, marking the beginning of World War I, which becomes a major plot on the program. There are 6 seasons, actually, 2 movies, and the 3rd movie comes out like a week after this video is supposed to go on YouTube, so I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch it. I love this show, like, so much. I will say, there's definitely, like, drama to this, and it's so binge-worthy. Like, after you watch the first episode, you're gonna be hooked. Fair warning. The 3rd show is probably the first Netflix show that I really got hooked on, and it's called The Midwife. One of my high school teachers actually recommended this, so I watched it, and sure enough, there I was, binge-watching Call the Midwife, like, 24/7 for weeks on end. But it is an amazing show, so. Adapted by Heidi Thomas from the best-selling memoirs of Jennifer Worth, this drama series is a moving, funny, colorful look at midwifery and family in 1950s East End London. It follows newly qualified midwife Jenny, who joins an eccentric, lovable community of nuns who are nurses at Nonnatus House. Jenny is surprised to find herself at a convent. She thought she was being sent to a small private hospital and is initially daunted by her surroundings, most notably the formidable Sister Evangelina and the unconventional Sister Monica Joan. But Jenny gradually begins to find her way and develops incredible friendships among the nurses as they are drawn into the lives and homes of the women and families they treat. There are 11 seasons. The 11th season is kind of premiering now on PBS, so you can watch it either on TV or online within so many days that the next episode airs. But season 10 will be added onto Netflix shortly, so exciting. I have watched all the way through season 10, and season 11, the first episode, I believe, just went up online, so I will be watching that. So the 4th show, which I think this was the first ever show I watched on Netflix, like during the beginning of quarantine, is The Crown. The Crown is based on an award-winning play by showrunner Peter Morgan. This lavish Netflix original drama chronicles the life of Queen Elizabeth II from the 1940s to modern times. The series begins with an inside look at the early reign of the Queen, who ascended the throne at age 25 after the death of her father, King George VI, I believe, if I can read Roman numerals right. If not, oops. As the decades pass, personal intrigues, romances, and political rivalries are revealed that played a big role in events that shaped the later years of the 20th century. So, there are 4 seasons on Netflix. I will say, okay, so the first 2 seasons, like, the cast, incredible. The cast is also incredible in, like, the seasons after, but they switch characters, so it can be a little confusing if you jump from, like, the end of season 2 to season 3, because they changed actors, but once you kind of know who's who, it's not so confusing. Season 5 is coming soon. The 5th show that I highly recommend is called The Royal House of Windsor. This documentary series explores the history of the Windsor dynasty, which was founded in 1917 when Germany and Britain were at war. A combination of new research and evidence, assistance from family insiders, and access to Windsor Castle's royal archives has provided an understanding of how this royal family has survived a century of great change. We learn how George V rebranded the family from its original German roots, and how Edward VIII almost ruined the dynasty with the abdication crisis in 1936. So, this kind of follows similar timelines as The Crown, except it goes a little bit earlier in history. 6th is Virgin River. Seeking a fresh start, a nurse practitioner moves from Los Angeles to a remote Northern California town and is surprised by what and who she finds. So season 3 just came out on Netflix. Season 4 is supposed to come out later this year. It is actually a really good show, I will say. Don't watch it like late at night if you get spooked by some of this stuff. Like, it's not scary, but it's very, I don't know, kind of mysterious in ways and has some dark like scenes in it, so I don't recommend necessarily watching right before you go to bed at night because you might not be able to sleep. The 7th show is Lenox Hill, the lives of 4 doctors as they navigate the highs and lows of working at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City. So this is kind of like a medical drama, except it's real life, not like some curated script. So number 8, also again with a royal family, is The Secrets of Great British Castles. So Dan Jones presents a documentary series which explores the history of Britain's greatest castles. Each episode takes a look at a different castle located in England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. Jones gives an insightful account of the structure's past, from construction to the residents and community who shaped its usage over time. The stories of battles, murders, and sieges are revealed behind and beyond the walls with dramatic reconstructions and aerial footage. The journey begins with the medieval strongholds of Dover Castle and follows on with the royal history of the Tower of London. So this is actually very similar to the Royal House of Windsor, although it goes more into the significance of all of the different like historical buildings and castles, and I don't know, it's just really good. So if you were into like the Royal House of Windsor and you liked that, then I highly recommend watching this one after. So number 9, of course, you know, if you know me, you know I had to add this in here. So it is Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. Yeah, I'm so OCD and like everything to have an aesthetic, and yeah, so I use her methods, by the way. Here is the summary. When people lead busy lives, their homes sometimes become cluttered with things piling up over time. In this series, renowned tidying expert Marie Kondo tries to help folks declutter their homes and their lives. Whether she's helping a harried couple with young children become more organized or showing a retired couple how to reclaim their space, Kondo assists her clients in clearing out the clutter and choosing joy in a series of inspiring home makeovers. Couldn't have said it better. I love it. I love it. Like, yeah. So if you ever wonder how I fold my clothes, just go watch that show. The last show I'm going to recommend is an athletic one, and this is probably my favorite like athletic show that I've seen on Netflix so far. So it is called Cheer, and season 2 will have just been released on Netflix by the time this video is out. In a small town of Corsicana, Texas, hard-driving head cheer coach Monica Aldama demands perfection from her team of competitive college athletes. There are a lot of like famous cheerleaders in this. So like Gabby Fuller and some of them, they're in this show, and it's basically the Navarro College cheer team. You get to follow them around and see their practices and competitions and games and stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of these Netflix recommendations. Let me know in the comments down below if you have watched any of these shows or you are going to check some of them out. You can also share with me your Netflix recommendations so I can, see what you guys like and maybe find some new favorites. If you wish to support me and my channel, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends. As always, I post videos every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. so you can come back next week for another video, and I will see you guys then. Bye!